This is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Roxas. On the Scorecard tonight, world number one Scheffler brings his A-game in strong start to Masters title defense. Letran ends round one strong in NCAA Season 100 women's volleyball. In the NBA, Cade Cunningham drops 36 as the Pistons roll past the Knicks. While the Pacers slip past the short-handed Cavs to clinch home court edge. And we have more on Filipino tennis sensation Alex Eala. All the headlines and more on the Scorecard tonight, the 11th of April. Now here's our roundup. Creamline isn't ready to surrender just yet. The Cool Smashers kept their title hopes alive with a thrilling 5-set win over Petrogas, 25-16, 16-25, 25-12, 15-25, 15-9 in Game 2 of the Premier Volleyball League All-Filipino Conference Finals. Gia Maquilang then sealed the deal with an ace at match point, finishing with 13 points in a balanced attack. Fifth straight conference title. Creamline took set one in dominant fashion, but Petrogas so get ready for a fiery final showdown in the deciding Game 3 set this Saturday at the Phil Sports Arena with everything on the line. Defending Masters champion Scottie Scheffler opened his title defense with a sharp bogey-free 4-under 68, securing a share of second place after the first round of the 89th Masters tournament. Scheffler, currently world number one, was all smiles after a clean scorecard that kept him within striking distance of leader Justin Rose of England, who holds a 3-stroke lead. Tied with Canada's Corey Connors, Scheffler is looking to make history. A win would make him the fourth golfer to secure back-to-back green jackets, joining legends Tiger Woods, Jack Nicklaus, and Nick Faldo. He's also eyeing a chance to join Nicklaus as the only player to win 3 Masters titles in a 4-year span. The numbers are in his favor. 18 of the last 19 Masters winners have been in the top 10 after round 1, including the last 5 champions who all sat in the top 3 after 18 holes. Still, Scheffler insists he's not too fixated on early leads. After injuring his right hand in December and taking time off early this season, Scheffler has been working his way back to form. A runner-up finish in Houston 2 weeks ago boosted his confidence heading into Augusta. With a strong opening round behind him, Scheffler looks poised to make a serious push for a 3rd green jacket. In collegiate volleyball, the Letran Lady Knights stormed past the San Sebastian Lady Stags in 4 thrilling sets, 28-26, 25-18, 24-26, and 25-17 to cap off the first round of NCAA Season 100 women's volleyball. And leading the charge, Gia Maquilang. Maquilang delivered once again with 20 big points, 17 of which came off solid, well-timed attacks. She made sure to make her presence felt on the floor, steady, aggressive, and confident, displaying her leadership, veteran poise. With this win, Letran ends round 1 with momentum on their side. And with Maquilang locked in like this, the Lady Knights are sending a strong message to the rest of the league that they are on a crusade for the NCAA women's volleyball crown. In the NBA, Cade Cunningham was in full control, scoring 36 points and dishing out 8 assists to lift the Detroit Pistons to a 115-106 home win over the New York Knicks, a possible preview of a playoff showdown. Jalen Duren added 18 points and 13 boards for Detroit, while Tobias Harris chipped in with 17 and Ron Holland delivered 13 off the bench. The Knicks got 25 points and 10 rebounds from Karl Anthony Towns, but his 7 turnovers loomed large. Precious Achiuwa had 18 and 10, Mikal Bridges scored 17, and Jalen Brunson finished with 15. The Knicks were without starters OG Anunoby and Josh Hart. Still, New York came out strong, leading 35-29 after 1. Towns picked up his third foul early in the second, but the Knicks pulled ahead by 11 before taking a 62-56 halftime lead. But the second half belonged to Cunningham, and Detroit closed strong to seal the win in front of a fired-up home crowd. Meanwhile, the Indiana Pacers grabbed home court advantage in the Eastern Conference playoffs with a close 114-112 victory over a decimated Cleveland Cavaliers team in Indianapolis. With the New York Knicks falling to the Detroit Pistons on the same day, the Pacers can still snag the number 3 seed in the East if they win their final 2 games and the Knicks drop their remaining matches. Tyrese Halliburton led the way for the Pacers with 23 points on 8 of 16 shooting and dropped 10 assists. Aaron Nesmith added 22 points, going 7 of 14 from the field. And Jarvis Walker came off the bench to contribute 15 points. The Cavaliers were missing Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and Max Strus. Only Mobley's absence was explained as rest, but its expected load management played a part in all 4 missing, given Cleveland had already clinched the number 1 seed in the East earlier this week. And here are the other results from around the NBA. Now here's your daily dose of sports lingo. What is a free throw in diving, and how does it differ from other diving maneuvers? In diving, a free throw refers to a diver's freedom of choice to select a dive, typically focusing on the most unique or difficult move in their list. It gives divers a chance to showcase creativity and skill outside of competition requirements, allowing for more flexibility in their performance. This freedom enables divers to express their individual style and push the boundaries of the sport. A free throw adds a creative element, encouraging divers to push their limits and showcase their acrobatic talent. Now it's time for our off-court buzzer. Formula One driver Carlos Sainz may be in more trouble with the FIA after dropping a swear word while voicing his frustration over a previous fine, just ahead of the Bahrain Grand Prix. The Williams driver is now at risk of a 40,000 euro penalty for violating the FIA's new language rules during Thursday's press conference. The fine stems from his colorful reaction to being penalized for arriving late to the national anthem ceremony at Suzuka. Sainz had been suffering from a stomach issue during that race weekend, although he admitted his tardiness. He questioned the size of the fine.
I was the first one to put my hand up and say, I'm late. I'm sorry for that. At the same time, I was 5 seconds late. And to be 5 seconds late and have to pay 10,000 euros or whatever the point is for me, it's out of the question that we're having to pay these fines. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get another fine for saying this, but happens, you know. It's the way it is.
The original fine for his tardiness was 60,000 euros, but was reduced to 20,000 euros after doctors backed his case. Still, the whole situation has raised eyebrows across the paddock, and Sainz's latest comment may trigger yet another fine under the FIA's tougher standards on driver conduct. Last season, Max Verstappen received a community service punishment for a similar language slip. But under current rules, fines are the new penalty of choice. No F1 driver has yet been fined under this policy, but Sainz will be the first. And that's our roundup for tonight, the 11th of April. Up next, we've got more on Filipina tennis sensation Alex Eala when we return right here on The Scorecard. Welcome back to The Scorecard. With her recent success in the Miami Open, Alex Eala has shaken up the world of tennis, jumping from 141 in the World Tennis Association rankings to now occupy the 73rd spot following her series of strong performances that saw her beat 3 Grand Slam winners. And since we cannot get enough of this inspirational athlete, here's Erica Christensen Lee with this report.
Alexandra Eala's dream.
The phenomenal rise of Filipina tennis sensation Alex Eala is truly impressive.
She completes a hat-trick of wins.
But beyond her breakthrough performance in the recently concluded Miami Open is the maturity she displayed beyond her years that is truly inspiring. During an online press conference with the Philippine media, Alex shared her learnings during her historic run that put the Philippines in the world tennis map.
For me, the biggest learning is that even the top players have weaknesses, and they have, they're not perfect. They're not, of course, when you see that they've won so many things, and of course it can depend on what kind of moment they're in their career. But there's always a way. There's always a point to push, and if I believe in myself, then I know that I'm able to push those points.
Entering the Miami Open as wild card, Alex talked about how she prepared herself mentally for the tough tournament that saw her go toe-to-toe with the world's top players.
I think, a big part I've said previously of being able to face these opponents is to treat them like they're any other opponent, is to strip them of all their decorations and all their achievements. And I did it like every other match. There's nothing that I did in particular that was out of my routine. Of course, the tactics or the things I would talk about and the emotional preparation with my coach would be different when he saw that I was a little bit more nervous and it was a little bit higher stakes than what I'm normally used to. But nothing drastic has changed. So I prepare for it like all my other tournaments and all my other matches.
For Alex, social media can both be the bearer of good news and bashing. As much as she is grateful for the support she was receiving online, she remained focused on her game.
I did in monitored amounts. I made it a point not to dwell on social media so much. I knew that it was blowing up, but I guess not the extent that it actually did. It's hard to be in the present, to stay in the present when all of that is happening online. But I felt when I distanced myself from my phone, it's when I was able to be more productive and more focused.
As she prepares for the rigorous series of tournaments of the WTA, Alex also shared her dream of representing the country in the Olympics someday.
I think that the Olympics is such a big event, and it's definitely one of my goals to represent the country there. So hopefully in 2028.
Keeping her sights on the coming Grand Slams, Alex is working on her weaknesses while continuing to build on her strengths.
I think my strength definitely would be my mentality. I take pride in how I handled myself on court and took control of my emotions during the matches, even when I was losing. And I definitely think that my serve, the starts of the point need work. Also my fitness and the overall shape of my body. It was a heavy load that week, and I was able to push through and I was able to maintain a high level until the end. But the next step is to be able to repeat this and for my body to handle this kind of intensity repetitively. So.
With her recent success, Alex has put the spotlight on tennis, and she hopes to inspire more Filipinos to take up the sport.
I love tennis. I think tennis is a beautiful sport. So to see, lalo na ngayon, more and more Filipinos picking up rackets and getting their kids into tennis is really such a sight for sore eyes, especially growing up that, tennis was very scarce. It's not it wasn't basketball or it wasn't volleyball. So I really like to think that I have this impact, and lalo na ngayon, the win that I did in Miami is, getting more people to look into tennis and getting more people to love the sport as well.
Alex's recent success is a testament to the power of determination and perseverance. And as this young Filipina prepares to enter the tennis fray against the best in the world, she carries the weight of expectations with grace and courage, with only one goal in mind: to keep on improving and to never rest on her laurels.
Well, there is definitely talagang my pressure because I was able to do well, but that's also a good sign. In the end, I'm the same player as I was 2 months ago, with a little bit more experience and a little bit more knowledge of what I'm capable to do. And I understand that this is new for me. This is something I haven't done before, being in the top 100, and being one of the seeded players. So it's not porket nagawa ko na magagawa ko ulit. So that's what I'm trying to work on, is being able to continuously keep up this level.
Up next, who is going to take home the PVL All-Filipino crown? Will it be the Petrogas Angels or the Creamline Cool Smashers? Let's talk about it when we return right here on The Scorecard. Welcome back to The Scorecard. It's time to keep your eyes on the prize. It's the final set, the final push. And once again, the Creamline Cool Smashers are still breathing. A familiar scene in Philippine volleyball. The Araneta Coliseum rocking over approximately 11,000 strong. And Creamline, with their backs against the wall, comes roaring back to life. This wasn't just another match. This was legacy preservation. This was the heart of a champion beating back elimination in vintage Creamline fashion. Game 2 of the PVL All-Filipino Finals saw the Cool Smashers summon every ounce of their experience. Got ourselves a finale. Creamline knows this script very well. They've lived it, written it, and even rewritten it. And when the moment called for a hero, Bernadette Pons answered loud and clear in that deciding set. Tied at 5 apiece, Pons flipped the switch. A monster 3-1 run, all authored by her, pushed Creamline ahead the court switch. One swing after another, one smart push after a tight dig, and one punishing black. Creamline closed the door. 5 of the final 6 points, and with it, opened the gates to a final chapter in this series. Puso ng kampiyon. Yan ang sinabi ni Bernadette Pons pagkatapos ng laban. And she lived it. 22 points, 12 excellent receptions, 9 excellent digs, and unshakable poise. But let's not crown Creamline just yet. The Angels, they've got wings, and they're flying right into Saturday with fire in their eyes. Brooke Van Sickle, 18 points. MJ Phillips, 15. Jonah Sabete, 14. And Myla Pablo reminding everyone that she's still a factor. After Creamline snatched the third set, Petrogas hit back hard. That fourth set was a statement. 25-15 domination. They opened 4-0, closed 25-15, and sent a message. We're not done. A blowout set like that could have rattled any team. But in this rivalry, all it did was set the stage for that legendary fifth. So, who holds the edge for Game 3? Winner takes all. And while the scoreboard says 1-1, the intangibles might just say otherwise. Creamline, they've been here before. They've set the weapons, the grit, and yes, they've already pushed the queens of the PVL to the edge. So here's the feel going into game number 3. Creamline They carry the slight edge with poise and depth and experience on their side. But Petrogas, they've got just enough firepower to turn this into another 5-set thriller. It's going to come down to who blinks first and who can rise when the moment gets loudest. Creamline wants title number 11, a championship run that would solidify their status as the PVL's gold standard. Petrogas, they're gunning to break the dynasty to prove that they too can deliver when it matters most. Saturday, 7 p.m., Phil Sports Arena. No more timeouts, no more do-overs, just 2 teams and 1 trophy and the entire nation watching. So volleyball fans, clear your calendar, set your alarms, because what's coming next isn't just a match. It's a moment, a fight to the finish. Now stay ahead of the game with the full lineup of NBA matchups from the weekend through Monday. And that wraps up tonight's preview, so you can keep your eyes on the prize. Before we go, think on this. From an American beach volleyball icon who holds the record for the most career victories in beach volleyball, having won 135 international and domestic tournaments, and is the most decorated beach volleyball Olympian in history. Kerry Walsh Jennings once said, "Adversity, if you allow it to, will fortify you and make you the best you can be." And with that, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you next week on The Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sport, right here on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. This has been Anton Roxas. Have a blessed evening, everybody, and happy weekend.